Episode 79, Where Grace Meets Real Life. The Everyday Test. We've traced the journey of grace, from ancient promises, to a cradle in Bethlehem, to a cross on Calvary. We've seen grace rescue, redeem, and restore. But now comes the real question. What happens when grace steps into Monday morning? When it meets messy emotions, tense relationships, and unfinished to-do lists? Because grace isn't proven in perfect places. It's tested in the chaos of everyday life. Scene 1. Grace in the daily grind you're driving. Someone cuts you off. Your instincts flare, anger rises. But grace steps in quietly. Let it go. You don't have to prove anything. That's not weakness. That's freedom. Freedom from the need to be right. Freedom to choose peace instead of pride. That's grace showing up in traffic. Scene 2. Grace in conversations that could explode. Someone offends you. Unfair words, harsh tone. You could clap back. You've got the perfect comeback. But grace offers you a holy pause. A second of silence that reminds you, you've been forgiven too. Maybe this is your chance to extend it. Speaking truth with a soft heart. That's grace speaking through you, not just to you. Scene 3. Grace. When you're tired, tempted, or failing again. It's late. You're exhausted. You mess up again. And shame whispers, you'll never change. God's done with you. But grace gently replies, my mercy is new every morning. I'm still here. Grace doesn't leave you at the altar. It walks with you through your weakness. Scene 4. When you don't feel it, grace still stands. Some days feel dry. You don't feel holy. You don't feel strong. But grace isn't a feeling. It's a foundation. It says, you are still loved. You are still mine. Even now. Grace holds steady, even when everything else feels shaky. Closing reflection. Grace isn't just for church services or Sunday sermons. It's for deadlines, traffic, family chaos, and late-night failures. It's the quiet courage to choose love instead of ego, patience instead of explosion, and humility instead of control. And when you fall again, grace doesn't walk away. It lifts you, reminds you, changes you. One honest moment at a time. If grace really does change us, who are we becoming? Because grace doesn't just forgive the past. It shapes your future. Grace rewrites your story without erasing the struggle. It turns wounds into wisdom and guilt into growth. In the hands of grace, you're not just surviving. You're becoming someone new. You are born again. Next episode. What happens if your parents leaves you in the jungle and a gorilla takes care of you? Would you have grace? Why was Tarzan good?